Welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is kidney stones. So all of us, most of them will have this issue of kidney stones, which is really painful. So let me give you an insight on what are these kidney stones, how are they usually formed, what are the diagnostic steps or identification methods for this, and how can you diagnose this, and various treatment options for this particular problem. So kidney stones, it is also called as nephrolithiasis. So half of the population, like million population, are suffering from this issue, and it is a most common issue which is seen around us. And if you take a count of 10, 1 in 10 will be suffering from this issue, and it is really going to be painful if the kidney stones are formed in ureter and other regions of the kidney. And when you are suffering from comorbidities, there is a chance of having this kidney stones even more. So the risk increases when you are having comorbidities like blood pressure, diabetes, you are suffering from obesity, etc. And it is not to do with age. Even children as young as 5 years can suffer from kidney stones. So the main two reasons for this kidney stones are basically the food choices. So if you are eating food with too much salts, that is one reason which can lead to kidney stones. And one more reason is not drinking enough fluids. So not drinking enough water can lead to concentrated conditions which can lead to this problem. So one more reason is the anatomy. So coming to the kidney structure, we know that we have the kidney structure which is something like this. You have the kidneys, right and the left kidney. You have the ureter, you have the bladder, and you have the urethra and the vagina. So this is the anatomy of the female, and this is the anatomy of the male kidney. So you can see in the case of male, the testicles and penis, this region is very narrow, because of which the chances of kidney stone formation and the painful nature of kidney stones is more in male candidates in comparison to the female candidates. So anatomy is the main reason for this. Because of the narrow opening here, the chances of blockage and pain is more in male in comparison to the female. Apart from that, based on the position where the kidney stones are formed, there are different names given to it. So these are the names, you can just check here: calyceal stones, renal pelvic stones, upper urethral stones. So if the stones are present in the urethral region, so in this region, so it will be called as the upper urethral stone, and if it is in below region, it will be called as the lower urethral stone. So based on the positioning of the stones, again there is classification. So this kidney stones can be extremely painful, as I told you, and most of the cases these stones will be calcium oxalate type. So 80% of the kidney stone cases will be this calcium oxalate deposits which are formed. Apart from that, in some cases they can be calcium phosphate, uric acid kind of stones, and steroid case of stones. So this is the kind of stone that is steroid stone. This is seen in case of bacterial infections. So if the kidney stones are formed because of the bacterial infections that is happening continuously, that can lead to steroid types of stones. So if these stones are big, then it is more and more painful. So smaller stones like 5 mm size can be passed easily without any issues. So the more issues start as these stones become bigger in size, and once that becomes bigger in size, urination can be difficult, and because of which it leads to a lot of pain. So as I told you, if you do not drink enough fluids, what happens is your urine will be high in dissolved minerals. So minerals or salts like calcium and other things will be very high. This leads to aggregation. So these aggregated calcium that is happening along with oxalate and other phosphates which are there in the system, it forms the stones. And this will block the entire kidneys, like whether it is in the upper region or in the urethral region, the blocks will be formed. And once you know that there is blocks in the system, there will be no flow of urine, and blockage of urine can lead to pain. So this is the main reason for the pain because of kidney stones. So coming to the types of stones, as I told you, calcium oxalate type is the calcium stones. This is the most commonly seen type of stone. So 80% of the cases is because of this. Apart from that, you can see uric acid stones, but these are very rare. You can see stones because of bacterial infection, that is the steroid stone, and you can see cystine stone, but these are the rarest ones. So less than 1% of the stones are because of these reasons, but maximum cases are because of the calcium oxalate stones. And coming to the symptoms, you can have cramping pain, and it is not like continuous pain. It comes from the back of the side and suddenly in the form of waves. So suddenly you will get the pains and suddenly it stops. And even you can have a burning sensation when you urinate. That can be one symptom that there might be kidney stones. And the urine can be very dark in color or red due to blood because of the friction between the stone and the walls of the kidney, which can lead to blood. And it can also lead to nausea and vomiting. And in the case of men, you can have more pain in the tip of the penis. So as I told you, because of low intake of water, that can lead to these issues. Even if your food practices, like if you're having too much of protein such as beef, fish, chicken, pork, your urine can become acidic, and this can be one reason for kidney stones to form. And your obesity problems and sometimes medications, because if you have too much calcium tablets sometimes and not drinking enough water, that also can lead to stones, and family history also can lead to stones. So coming to the diagnosis, there are various diagnostic methods for identifying the stones. So you can go for X-rays, you can go for ultrasound. So this is the image to show you that. So in case there are kidney stones in the ultrasound, you can see the stone formation. So you can see here, there's a stone in this particular region in the right kidney. So in the same way, different regions you can try to do a ultrasound and check if the stones are there. Apart from that, even you can try to do a blood test or a urine test. So in the urine test, if there are too much minerals which are leading to kidney stones, if the concentration of those minerals are high, it is a identification technique which tells that there can be kidney stones, or in future kidney stones can be formed. And sometimes they even do the stone analysis. So this is after the stones have been recovered, they analyze the stone to find out if it is a calcium oxalate, calcium phosphate, or uric acid type of stone, or this stone is because of the bacterial infection. So even by X-rays you can identify it. So in this image also you can see the kidney stones are there. So this is the arrow mark showing you the stone formation within the system. So coming to the surgery or the methods by which you can try to remove the kidney stones, one method which is widely used is shortwave lithotripsy. So this is a technique where the sound waves are used. So you can see here the patient is made to lie in this position, and using this equipment, the sound waves, the high energy shock waves, that is sound waves, are introduced into the system. So this sound waves will help in breaking the stones which are within the kidneys, and you can see once it is broken apart, it will be easily passed through your system. So since the breaking up of the stone is done, the smaller size molecules can easily move through the ureter and the bladder and can be passed away from the body. The next technique is urethroscopy. So in this system, what they do is the urologists. So these are the main people who are working in this area. So urologists are kind of doctors you need to consult. So they use something called as urethroscopy. So this will be introduced into the kidneys. You can see here, they introduce here based on where the stones are present. They introduce into that area. And once they introduce into that area, in case it is present in the ureter, it reaches the ureter, and once it reaches the position, it will open its basket, where you can see that there will be a light wave, or they will use laser. So using those techniques, whether laser or any stone breaking tool will be used, and they will break open the stone within the system, and once it breaks that stone, it will open its basket and it will collect all that material and it will get it outside. So in this way, the stones can be broken and that can be taken outside. So in this way, if you do it, definitely the pain that is caused because of blockage can be reduced. The next technique is percutaneous nephrolithotomy. So this is the best technique that is used when the size of these stones are very large. Okay, so large size of stones can be broken down by this method. So in this, they use a surgical method where they introduce this rigid telescope called as nephroscope. So it will be introduced back into the kidneys, and once they introduce there, again the concept of breaking the stone is there, and once it is broken, using suction, the stone particles which are broken is introduced or sucked into the same tube, and it is removed outside. So in this way, using a small laser technique or small opening into the kidneys, you can try to remove these kind of stones. So this is widely used when you have large size stones. So coming to Ayurvedic medicine for the treatment of kidney stones. So this is the product from Himalayas which can be used. So it's costing just 125 rupees. It has got all the herbal ingredients in it. So one of the ingredient has the property to prevent the formation of the stones itself, and in case the stones are formed, it has the capability to dissolve the stones, and it is antimicrobial also in nature, so that is a good point of it. And one more component present in this particular product, it protects the irritated or inflamed internal tissue, and it flushes off the small stones and the gravel, so it has got the diuretic property. So coming to the takeaway messages, definitely drinking water. So enough water should be you should have enough water so that you can dilute the salts so that these aggregates are not formed, and you can avoid having food which are rich in oxalates. So some examples for that are potato, spinach, beetroot, almond. So in case you're suffering continuously from this kidney stones issue, it's better you avoid these food in your diet and reduce meat intake like fish, chicken, pork, beef, etc. You can also do some lifestyle modifications like reducing the salt intake and not having too much of junk food and fast food which is rich in all these salts. And basically it will be easy for the doctors to analyze and understand based on the family history. And it is also recommended to have only recommended amount of calcium, because too much calcium in the diet also can lead to these issues. But it should be recommended, like should not have, because you feel that calcium can lead to this kidney stones issue, you stop taking calcium in your diet. That should not happen, because you know that when you stop taking calcium, your bones can get demineralized, and because of that you can lead to other issues because of less calcium in your bones. So you should see to it that you manage your calcium intake properly. Apart from that, you can have fruits and vegetables. So this will be rich in potassium, fiber, magnesium, citrate, etc. So this will indirectly help in formation of kidney stones. And in case you want to have calcium food in your diet, it's better to have it during the meals, because when you have it during the meals, same time you can try to have the calcium rich food, that is either milk, yogurt, etc. So this, what happens is when you take it during the meal, it binds to one another in the stomach and intestine, and the chances of it reaching the kidneys is less, because of which the kidney stone formation can be reduced. So you have to do little strategy so that you know when to take the food which is rich in calcium, and in that way you can try to avoid the formation of kidney stones. Thank you for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon for more educational videos like this, and share this video with maximum people that you know. Thank you.